before we get started with the video, I do want to let y'all know I'm going to be giving away 5 heavenly restrictions and a ton of game passes and spins in my Discord server. All guys have to do is go ahead and hit the subscribe button. You must be subscribed, you cannot win the giveaway, and go and join the Discord server where the giveaways are held. Again, you have to be subscribed, you cannot win, and it is free. So just go ahead and subscribe, hit that like button, join the Discord down below, and you guys can win a ton of giveaways in there, man. Anyway, on to the video. I was good, y'all, man. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing y'all the best PvE builds inside of this game, including my build and many other builds that you guys should actually be, considering using if you guys are trying to grind up and level up. So for me, currently, I am on a brand new slot, level 158, and I've gotten this fairly quickly. It's only been like a couple hours, few hours. Obviously, I am using boost, as you guys can see in the top right. I'm using 2,000 XP and 2,000 mastery. If you don't have Robux, that's fine. If you guys join my Discord, I give away like a lot. I give away, if you just ask me, I'll probably give you a boost. I'm not gonna lie. It's only like 25 Robux or like 80 Robux for an hour. So if you guys do want to boost, you guys can ask me in my Discord. But basically, I definitely recommend boost because without it, you kind of just level up very slow. But for me, I always have a boost equipped just because I feel like it's kind of a waste of time if you don't have a boost on, if you know what I mean. Because, like it's going to take you like double the time to level up. And let's say it takes you like 2 hours to get to max. With it, it'll take you 4 hours without. And spending an extra 2 hours for only like 100 Robux doesn't make sense to me. So that's why I just opted to just spend the Robux. Yeah, you guys don't have to do that. But for me, I actually did go ahead and do that. So that's number one. Number two, let's get into the builds that I actually recommend using for PvE grinding. And keep in mind that these builds are like PvE only. Like for PvP, these builds are like pretty buns. I'm not gonna hold y'all. Like there are some innates that are just very, very good for PvE, and then for PvP, they're just buns. I made the mistake of actually upgrading my heavenly restriction more than anything else, and I realized that heavenly restriction is kind of buns for PvE. I'm not gonna lie. So what I did is I actually just used all my spins. I did have to buy some spins, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but for the most part, I did use the free spins from the codes. But I did have some pretty good luck, and I was able to get this lineup that I'm currently using. And the lineup that I'm currently using is Volcano, Star Rage, and Curse Queen. And basically, I'll tell you guys the reason for all these three that I have right over here. So if I go to my innates, as you guys can see, I have an empty loadout, and I'm gonna show you guys the loadout I use right now. But obviously, these are all not maxed mastery, and I have no domain expansion on either Curse Queen or Star Rage yet. But this build is still going to be very good even if you don't have it maxed out. So for me, I actually go ahead and I use both of the Curse Queen moves, Ghastly Queen and Ghastly Fist and Demonic Toss. This is just because the Ghastly Fist is very good for AoE and knocking out a lot of things at once, and the Curse Queen Demonic Toss is really good for knocking out cursed users and also the bosses because it's really good at like single hit damage. The main combo you're going to be running with this setup right here is going to be Volcano and some Curse Queen for the AoE and the mobs, and then you're going to be using mainly Star Rage for the individual bosses and the individual curse users that just take 1 damage and don't really need AoE moves. So this is really good for grinding missions and bosses even, because the bosses sometimes do spawn mobs, but mainly it's going to be really good for missions and investigations. Next, I use Asteroid and Mars. You could use Oberon, but in my opinion, I just think these two moves are better. And obviously, I use all 3 of the Volcano moves. These are my AoE moves as well as these. So I have actually 4 AoE moves in here, and then the rest are actually going to all be single hit. And then for my last move, I also do use Molten Palm as another single hit move, which actually does do AoE if needed, but mainly it's a single hit move. And this is basically my loadout. Obviously, I'm not really maxed out with these, but even if you do get maxed, there's an even better loadout you could do. But the 3 innates that I'm running is actually that. Now, for PvE, you mainly want to focus on doing damage instead of health. So for me, I actually went and I put most of my stat points into technique and into strength. I don't really use too much black flesh, so I didn't really upgrade focus at all. I didn't even touch it. But for me, I just went technique and I actually almost maxed it out, and I went to strength and I put all my stat points in there in order to get the most damage output. If you guys do want to use black flesh, which you could, I would actually recommend putting more into focus rather than strength. For me, strength is just really because I like to AoE. Not AoE. I like to M1 a lot, so I put it in strength. But it's for you guys, if you'd like to use black flesh, I don't. But if you do, you put it in focus and you should be chilling. Health really shouldn't be an issue. I did put a little bit into health. This is probably all I'm gonna go for this build. I'm just gonna put this much into health, just to get me up to like around 5,000 health. And for most bosses, that should be fine around this level. Obviously, as you level up, you get more health, but yeah, usually with that much into health is probably fine, maybe a little bit more. But yeah, man, that's basically my PvE build. Now I'm gonna go over the other innates that are also really good for PvE. So Hydrokinesis is really good for PvE as well, just because it has a lot of AoE moves and single damaging moves as well. Common pattern you really find in this game is that AoE moves are harder to find than single hit moves. So anything that really has a lot of AoE is going to be really good for investigations and missions. But anything that's really single hit is going to be really good for bosses. So it kind of depends on what you depend on doing for the most of your XP. But for me, those are going to be the best 4 innates in order to go ahead and level up in this game. And those are the best PvE builds in my opinion. If y'all do have a different opinion on your own PvE builds, that because again, this is just my opinion, make sure to go to put it down in the comments down below. And I'll catch y'all in the next video, man. Peace out.